Patrick Francis Moran was born on the 16th of September, 1830, at Leylandbridge, Carlo Island. Born the youngest of 5 children to Patrick and Alicia, Moran later became the first cardinal born in Australia, and only the 3rd Roman Catholic Bishop of Sydney. At a young age, Moran was deprived of emotional security. Moran's mother died when he was only 14 months old, and his father passed away when he was 11. Adding to the suffering, Moran lost 3 of his siblings at a young age. After the passing of his parents, he took refuge at the Cullens of Cran in Carlo until he was placed in the care of his uncle, soon to be Cardinal Paul Cullen, who lived in Rome and became a massive influence in the life of Moran. In Rome, Moran studied theology at the Roman seminary under the Jesuits Perone and Passaglia, and at the Urban College of Propaganda Fide, where in 1852 he was awarded a doctorate with Archbishop Pecci as one of his examiners, later known as Pope Theo XIII. Eventually, he was ordained priest on the 19th of March 1853. At the Irish College, Moran was at the centre of a missionary enterprise with worldwide interests. In 1856, he was appointed vice-rector, but he preferred missionary work to an episcopal career in Ireland. His strong sense of missionary vocation was to underline his willingness to go to Australia. He developed good working relations with Roman officials, and in the 1850s and 1860s regularly wrote to officials, drafted reports on Irish affairs, and even wrote some of Cullen's pastoral letters. He acted as a translator, an interpreter, and guide for both metropolitan and overseas Irish. Moran wrote 5 substantial books on Irish church history between 1862 and 1864. He also wrote many articles, pamphlets, formal lectures, and edited Specialium Oriens, a 3-volume collection of documents illustrating Irish religious history from the Reformation until 1800, and made other compilations of source material. On December 22, 1871, Cullen arranged for Moran to be elected Bishop of Alba, and also appointed co-judah Bishop of Ossory. Moran's role as co-judah Bishop meant that he assisted the diocesan bishop and succeeded him if needed. This was the case on the 11th of August 1872, as Moran succeeded to become Bishop in Ossory. On the 14th of March 1884, Moran was promoted to the Archdiocese of Sydney. Within 2 years of being in Australia, Moran had not only visited every one of the 46 parochial districts of the diocese, which then extended to the Victorian border, but also the suffragan dioceses of Maitland and Armidale, and New Zealand. Moran was determined to have all Catholic children in schools staffed by religious orders. By 1911, more than 3/4 of the Catholic children in Sydney of primary school age were in his system, and he had laid the basis for a similar secondary system. Cardinal Moran died on the 15th of August 1911, leaving behind his determined personality and a legacy that lives on in schools today. Under his watch, the northern end of St. Mary's Cathedral was completed, followed by the construction of the central section, including what is now known as the Cardinal's Tower. While there were areas such as the spires to be completed, by 1900 enough work had been carried out for Cardinal Moran to be able to consecrate the cathedral. Also, Moran was determined to have Australian Catholic children in schools staffed by religious orders. By 1911, he had virtually achieved this, with more than 75% of young Catholics of primary school age a part of the Catholic school system. This is how Cardinal Patrick Francis Moran contributed to the Catholic Church.